There's a couple of private companies that make different kind of pumps. They have an old-fashioned pump that is, you crank it up and it's gravity and crank powered, right? So for people doing this, there's no electronics to deal with, and it's a relatively simple device, but they have a lot of patents on it, and they're introducing newer products. But right now, the niche, might have been 5 years ago thought of as $100 million business, Berna. So, nobody wants to go after that TAM. It's probably up to, triple that by now and growing pretty rapidly. It's growing double digits just organically, and that's without any price increases. So there's just a lot of unit growth. And the rest of the world is way underpenetrated relative to the U.S. And their new story now is, now that they got the U.S. covered, they're just expanding in Europe and Japan and the other developed markets.
Cool. Well, that sounds like a neat little company, kind of definitely off the radar screen. Does this one even have any sell side coverage?
If you look it up on Bloomberg, they have like 4 legitimate second and third tier analyst coverage. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. So this is my version of a compound, okay? And compounders is a word that I mock a lot because it's a reason for people to hold stupidly priced businesses that have had massive runs after modest growth spurts. And one I debated someone here on this a long time ago was Pool, P-O-O-L. Oh, just put it away. It's a compounder. Bullshit. It's a shitty roll-up company, okay? With no, they have a lot of scale, but they don't have anything proprietary in my mind. That. And you remember Lulu was a compounder and Starbucks was a compounder. You would just set it and forget it, right? Well, my version of this is this company, which it's not like we got in cheap. I like to get in these things when they break at 1, 1.5, 2 times sales. Maybe I was at 2 and change. It was 1.3, 1.75. It was relatively cheap for what it was. But you have to digest 2 years of growth to get cheap, and then it grows 25. So when they're $100 million growing 25%, they'll put on 25 million more in revenue, which 2 years ago was their whole year. So I want to own this for 10 years. I don't want to own this for 10 months or 10 quarters. And when it went to 660, I told myself, this is expensive, and I know I'm going to take a correction on this, a drawdown. And I did, and, I'm happy because I want to own this for 5 to 10 years.
Or maybe someone will take it from you before 5 to 10 years.
There's a couple of very large shareholders, and my fear is that they do that.
Well, that's an interesting one. Did you say you had a second one today?
Well, that was the yin. The yang, obviously, is a semiconductor stock, right? Because when the medical's working, the semis are not, and vice versa.